I bet you hope for something in life. You hope that this is the job. I mean, you hope to be a good dad, a good parent. You want to be a better spouse. We want something out of life, right? And I'd much rather be like Willie, going after his dreams with resilience, undeterred by those frustrations that are mounting around him. I'd rather be like Willie than the conniving villains or those sad sacks in the wash house with that defeated victims mentality. I mean, did you catch that one line? She said, one moment of stupidity followed by endless regret. There are plenty of challenges in life and challenging people, and we can make some foolish decisions along the way, but it shouldn't have to tear us down. Are you in a season of life right now where you're like, this is so difficult? This is frustrating. Why are they treating me this way? Why can't they see? When will I get a break? And maybe giving up and giving in is starting to sound a bit easier. But easier usually doesn't mean better. How do you keep your heart? I mean, I know it's a movie, this may be an extreme example, but you feel it? Maybe you're really struggling with it right now in this season of life. How do you navigate the challenges and the major frustrations on top of that and not become bitter chocolate? You're giving your best at work because you want life-giving, fulfilling work. You're showing up, putting in the time, supporting others, but nobody seems to notice. And some are even acting like you're just doing it for the attention, for the wrong reasons. You're giving your best to your family because you want to enjoy them. You want to raise your kids well, but your middle schooler doesn't have a clue. They don't see how much you sacrifice. They make more messes than they clean up. Is this how it's always going to be? Whatever you do, you can't seem to please your parents. You try so hard, but all they see are your faults, things that you need to fix. And some of those jerks at school are basically villains in your story. How do you keep your heart intact when there are so many challenges, so much opposition, so much frustration in life? Here's what I'm realizing. It's not a question of will you face adversity and challenges. You and I know this by now. I mean, there's no golden ticket pass that's going to get us out of life's pains or struggles. We'd love that, Mr. Willy Wonka. But the real question is, how do you keep your heart intact in the midst of it all? Here's what I've found. It is often the simple things that make the biggest difference. And here's where I believe all of us have to start. This writer brilliantly but simply says in Proverbs 4:23, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Guard your heart. The writer is telling each of us, whatever you let in will determine where you go. I mean, think about it. The more I let in bitterness, the more I think about my frustrations, the more it takes over my heart and mind. We know this. It dominates our thoughts. I mean, you may not become this caricature villain like the chocolate cartel or that bitter hotel manager, but here's the question. Are you slowly but surely on your way? Because the shift is subtle. And if we're not careful day by day, we could be on our way to becoming less filled with joy, less focused on our dream that God placed in our heart, and more focused on revenge or frustrations or the irritations in life. Every day, you and I, we have to pay attention to what we're letting in, what we're fixing our mind on. So how do you guard your heart? I found that there are two simple things, but most important, that I have to do on a consistent basis. And the first is I have to give it to God. Give it to God. A writer tells us in 1 Peter 5:7 says, give all your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you. This writer is telling us, you weren't meant to carry all these struggles by yourself. Every day they're gonna build up. It's gonna happen. And every day you have to give them to God. Simple prayers like, God, I don't understand this. I don't know how to get through this. I need your help. Simple ways of inviting God into your struggle, into your life every single day. Because you know, maybe like me, the more irritated I get, the more frustrated you are, the more isolated you might get. You're not only not inviting others into the struggle, you stop inviting God in either. But this first piece is crucial. Every day, give it to God. And here's the second part. It's what this guy Paul says in Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. He says, fix your thoughts. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure, he says, and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Paul is literally saying, fix your thoughts. It is about what you're thinking about. What's dominating your mind? Because you were fixing your thoughts on the opposite. What's frustrating, what's irritating, what's dominating our minds is the struggle. And if we let it, it overwhelms us. The lie that it's always going to be this way. But Paul is saying, no, just do the opposite. Fix your thoughts, but fix them on what is true. That God loves you and wants to work in and through your life. We just read that he cares about you. Cast your cares on him. Fix your thoughts on what's honorable, right, pure, lovely, the good that could come through this. Fix your thoughts. Listen, if I daily give my cares to God and fix my thoughts on what is good, then I am guarding my heart. I won't get lost, slowly turning into what I never intended to become, a victim or a villain. This is a reality for every single one of us. Guard your heart, for it determines the course of your life.